Hello everyone, I'm back again. Technically part 3 of my installment of building my little Tamiya racer car right here. The, the Tamiya Fighter Buggy RX 58184. Secondary part number 7200. So, I'm going to see if I can't put together. I left off with part A, and I said that I would break this up a little bit more. And so now this is going to be assembling the B section, which is going to be differential, the diff in the back end. Now, with that said, I checked all of my bearings. I still have some 1150 bearings here. I got a ton of these. I bought used store again. I've mentioned this before, tote just filled with crap for like 30 bucks. And it had like well over $100+ in just bearings alone. So so many bearings, which is really cool. And just tons of other stuff. So I've been picking through that. But I was looking at the instructions here for the rear diff, and it calls for 1150 bearings. No problem. 2, 3, I think 3 of them, and that's it. However, it also calls for an 850 bearing, which is an 8 by 5 by 2.5 millimeter. Now, 8 outside diameter, or 8 millimeter outside diameter, 5 millimeter inside diameter, and 2.5 millimeters thick. Now, I have a bearing here that I actually pulled out of my box. And as you can see, this is actually, well, it's an 8 by 5 by 2.5. However, it has a flange on it. It has a 1-ish millimeter, or half a millimeter, 8, 9. Yeah, it has a half millimeter flange all the way around. Now, I already went on Amazon. And for 10 bucks, for about $1 a pop, I can get the correct sealed ball bearing. However, with that said, I don't necessarily need 10 of these. I only need 1. I don't know if any of the other kits that I have require this same bearing. So with that said, I'm going to try to see if I cannot use this one. So I'm going to start building this. And if by chance this does not work out, I'm going to stop. I'm going to order the right parts. And let me hop on here. I can get it if I order within like the next heartbeat. I might be able to get these in by tomorrow, if not Wednesday or Tuesday. Yeah, in Japan time, Wednesday. So, which means that I'll get those parts in, and I won't be doing anything until like 2 weeks from now, knowing me. But with that said, this bearing is still good. She's used, but you know, she's pretty good looking. You know, a little bit on the dirty side. But she spins, which is important, obviously. And I don't feel any kind of weird grinding or anything like that. She's just really dirty. But I'm going to see if this works. Now, it may or may not work. The thing that I'm worried about again here is the fact that it is flanged. And I'm not too sure, given the tolerances, if that flange is going to be wrong English. Will interfere is going to be interfere. No. Will interfere, or if it won't interfere. So, because I know it'll fit on. It'll slide on. That's no problem. But when it comes to assembling the rear diff and the rear housing and everything with the gears and everything, this is actually one of the not counter shafts. One of the gears, specifically this B1 counter gear. So we'll see if it'll work or not. Not giving up my hopes yet, but if this works, I would be really happy. So, because that means that I could, make more progress, obviously. And I won't have to shell out 10 bucks for 10 bearings when I only need 1. So, but here we have the gear set right here. And the diff parts are all in here. It's interesting because, well, not interesting, but yeah, these are made out of plastic. I'm wondering if there's any benefit of having these made out of metal. Maybe not, actually. But yeah, we're just going to get it right into it. Yeah, no questions asked. Shoot now, talk later, whatever you want to call it. And we got the rear end here and everything. So yeah, this would be, these are the shafts for the rear end, or a shaft. These are the shafts for the rear end for the axles, basically. Our nuts, bolts, and screws. Our plastic 1150 bearings, which should go straight into the garbage can. Fun fact, actually, I don't normally ever throw those away. I keep them for whatever reason. I have a boatload of them, but I think once I should just throw them away. I'm never going to use them. Get my sip of root beer here. At the same time, I'm also not I'm not a huge fan of throwing stuff away, but at the same time, those plastic gears are trash. I mean, not even worth keeping. So, moment of truth. I think what I'm going to do here is, okay, this is actually the back end right here. It's just one piece. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dry install here real quick. Take off that tape. Just to let you know, this tape will be on eBay. $100 for each one. This one's, let's take a look here, about 25 by 18 by about 0.1 millimeters. I would say this will fetch about $100 in the used market of vintage tape. And this one, oh my god, this one's probably going to be, I don't know, $250, $300. I'm joking, obviously. If my sarcasm did not come through clearly, then I apologize. But I've seen some crazy stuff like that with like guitar parts, like original guitar tape, original humbucker tape, $25. No, it's frickin' tape. It's just crazy. Anyways, so I do believe this is going to be the left side of the gear case, raw air. That is a absolutely yes. Yes, this is the left side. So what do I want to do here? I need to see if the housing will actually come together. So, I'll do it even with the metal bearing here too. So, we got our 1150 bearing right here. Again, we're just going to do a quick dry install here. Nice and tight. Perfect. And, as predicted, this guy will go in here perfectly, like so. But it's flanged. So, MB13, that's going to be, which one is that? That's the counter shaft. Where is the counter shaft? Alrighty. Oh, here she is. There we go. There's the bearing, actually, so. I actually did not measure this one. In the Mercedes-Benz video, the hop-up bearing that they actually wrote on the box and in the instructions had the incorrect bearing size. That was pretty shocking. But let's go ahead and well, first of all, screw it. I'm not even going to compare the two. I'm just going to go balls to the wall. Slap this thing together here. In theory. Ooh, she's tight. I like it. Oh yeah, she's really tight. I like that. I like that a lot. So, this is going to go right here. And you know what? I think this will work. I think this might actually work. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Awesome blossom. I think this will actually work. Hold up. Let's see. Will it work? Ho, 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 ho. You know what? It'll work. Oh, that's brilliant. There's zero slack there too. Oh, that's brilliant. Cool. No, that's really okay. Awesome. That is beyond awesome, actually. Yep. It's got plenty of space there, so. Okay, so the good news is, yeah, we can go ahead and continue this build. Awesome. Frick yeah. Okay, so for all you people out there, if you're building this kit, if it's a flange bearing, there's a good chance that it will work. So in this case, there's no interference, which is, again, that's really awesome. That makes me really happy. And what also makes me really happy is that this little bearing here is getting a new home. So I found him I just found him in the bottom of the of my barrel, bottom of my parts pile. And see, this is the original bearing that would go in, well, bushing. It's not a bearing, it's a bushing. And yeah, she fits, but could be better. So let's just go ahead and knock that out here real quick. So yeah, if you're in a pinch, well, not if you're in a pinch, this may actually work out better, who knows. But yeah, a flanged bearing will work in this case. Really quite happy about that. So, and with that said, let's go ahead and get to assembling this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this bearing a little bit of a dollop here also. Press it together. Make sure that grease gets in there. Again, this bearing is a little bit on the dirty side. I don't hear any grinding or anything like that though, so I'm fairly confident that it should be fine for the long term. I should also check to see if this is a dry tranny. It's going to be a dry tranny. That's right. Let's go ahead and pop them in there. And just for safety's sake, because that does have a lip, I'm just going to go ahead and dollop the grease on here, on this face. And when I pop it in place, it'll just have a bunch, it'll hopefully maybe force some of the grease into where it needs to go to. And if not, that's okay too. Some peace of mind. There we go. Cool, all good to go. Now we'll go ahead and, oh boy. Am I going to be able to get this guy out? Probably not. Oh yeah, there we go. Same thing here, I'll actually put grease on both of the faces here. Or at least one face. The face that's going to be facing the inside. No pun intended. There we go. Cool. And then for this rod right here, just slather on the grease. Man, I maybe should have gotten some steel wool or something to maybe smooth this guy out. It's got some pitting on here from just the age, but it should be okay. I'm not going to worry about it too much. This is why grease exists. This will make for a nice snug fit in there. Oh yeah, the bearings are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Smooth. Yep, good to go. Smell of grease on my hand. So, B1, this housing right here, and it's got the holder right down there. And same thing here. I'm just gonna. I don't think I really have to, but I'm just gonna put a nice little dollop of grease on here. Just to be safe than sorry. There we go. Again, probably not needed. Gosh darn it, get back in there. Tolerances are tight, my friend. I like it. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Okay, that is most excellent. I'm gonna have a little sip of my root beer here now. As we're 15 minutes in. But with that said, let's just go ahead and crank into her. Again, I'm quite happy that I bought this grease. I've been using the stock grease, but this is probably going to be, I mean, even any kind of grease is probably going to be okay, but just for future proofing, I think this stuff here is where it's at. So, and I'll need to go ahead and grease up this shaft here. Shaft, it's not a shaft. Actually, probably this part is not required. I guess it would be best to lube it up. Okay. Right. This guy here also. That's a lot of lube I gotta use. But hey, I got a big old container of this stuff, so... Container. What the heck am I saying? I have a big old tube. There we go, that's better. Let's push that in there. Once these surfaces made, also I'll give it an extra greasing. Should be okay. Okay, now we have, I need the C2 left gear holder, which should be this guy right here. Yep, there's the pin sticking out and everything. And 3x10 screws, which is going to be these guys right here. I need 3 of them. And this is facing upwards. Yep, just like that. See, and in my haste, I actually totally forgot to get my other screwdriver. And you know what? Yeah, this actually works out fine. Get these a nice cranking down here. I was just thinking maybe I'll go into my office real quick and get the other screwdriver, but yeah, this seems to be working fine for the time being. Make sure to get these nice and fastened down. Man, if this casing were to ever get damaged, that would suck. Big time. I've actually never tried to look into seeing if any of these parts, if there's like spare parts available online, Amazon used. I mean, I doubt it. I haven't really looked, but this is where you have to do careful thrashing is what I call it. Planned thrashing. Okay, that's oh, look at that spin. That makes me really, really happy. Low friction. Low friction is good. So, part 7 done. Let's go to part 8. A3. This is 3x10s. Yes. I need 4 of those guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. In some ways, it's actually kind of smart. It's color coded in a way, based off of the material that they're using. So MB5 times 2. This is the washer, which is going to be in this bag over here. Yeah, the sun's creeping out. It's actually, I may end up going outside today. Aluminum. Oh, wow. Okay, grub screws. Come on. Please do not run away from me. Yep, there's some small grub screws in here. And this one's trying to get away from me. Let's go ahead and let's use this guy right here. There we go. Do not want those guys running away. So, MB52, we got these two guys right there. Our two washers, MB7 circlips. I think they always give you an extra one. And MB8, this is the 1150 bearing. Again, of course, I have enough for maybe one. This might be everything. So these are my last 2, 4, 6, last 9. So I might actually have to go out and buy more junk. And yet I don't throw them away. Cool. So let's do number 8 here. And okay, so the way this works is you have these two shafts here. They are identical. Keep in mind. So you take the circlip here and you pop it onto the top with some pliers. I actually have a circlip tool in America, of course, not here. I'm going to slightly offset this here. Okay, there we go. Dink. Just clipped in place. I'll go ahead and do that with the other one right away too, and get it over with. Circlip. Is this E-ring actually circlip? I guess this could be called a circlip. It's a circular clip. I got those two guys done. Hopefully on the right side. Okay, good, yeah. The thread side goes on the outside because that's where the wheels go. So, and it even says here you should lube up this section right here. Go ahead and do that real quick. Very carefully. That circlip comes in handy. That means I can lube this up and not worry about getting it all over my table. Even though my table's a mess right now, but that's a whole nother story. And I'll probably be sure also to, I'll do that right now actually. I'm just gonna, a little strip of grease there on the top. Don't know if that's needed, but why not? I got it, so might as well use it. Now we go on to the outside, and the first thing that we want to do here is we have our washer. Slide. MB5. Interesting. 5mm washer. That's just slides right over it though. Is that right? Something seems amiss here. That's because this is an 8mm by. No, it's a 5. It's the right one. It's the right one. That's really odd though. So it's saying here to put it on the outside. And we're sure we don't have any. Yeah, this is the body related stuff, so that's not it. This is for the motor. Well, that looks to be it. So that's a little odd. Well, in any case, this is going to be, excuse me, where the bearing goes. Go ahead and do the same thing here. Just give her. Oh, I already know what it is. Okay, I think I just figured it out. So this guy will go in like so. I just remembered I have to actually do something else today still. Shit. Okay, so that bearing goes in right there. This whole thing actually slides over it, and it actually stays here on the outside. So that must mean that... Ah! I dropped it. Crap. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Okay, I think I may have lost one of them. Shit. Alright, I'll do that later. So this whole thing, so that must act like a... like a washer, like a spacer, basically. Probably to get rid of some of the slack. Squish him down there. Okay, give her a nice spin. Good to go. So now we will... Okay, so that's this one side here. Slide him in. Now we go to the opposite side right here. And I think here also you have to watch out for the orientation of this pin. So follow the directions correctly. This is the right gear holder right here. Gear pieces like this. Here's a little dimple that sticks out, and it should be facing... Oh, actually it's keyed also. But just for reference, it is keyed. But also, yeah, make sure you have the direction correct. So I did those three right there. MA 3x10, I'll need 4 of those. Drop these guys in here. Give her a little start. Yeah, I kind of wish I would have got my other screwdriver here because the other one is magnetic. Sometimes makes it a little bit easier. Not required, but makes it a little bit easier. And the handle is also longer. This is a little snubby one, but not gonna complain. Gets the job done, so should be good. Alrighty. So these 4 3x10s. It's interesting also. I remember seeing a video. I can't remember who did this, but it's talking about. Oh, actually, that's what it was. The Steam. The Valve Index, the Steam handheld portable gaming system, whatever you want to call it. I haven't been following it recently because it's not going to come out in Japan for at least another year or two. Who knows? But Steam actually says, or Valve, whatever. Steam is the application. Valve said that if you want to open up your device, you can open it up. However, since they're using self-tapping screws into plastic, the second that you actually take the screw out, the integrity of the device will be compromised to a certain degree. And it was Linus from Tech Tips. There we go. He was talking about that, and he was interested in seeing if anybody had some input on that as to, you know, how legitimate that is. Is that true? Is that false? I'm no mechanical engineer. I'm the opposite, if anything. However, I feel that Valve is correct in that sense. Because kind of like how head bolts work on a car. One-time use head bolts, stretch bolts, they stretch out. Once they stretch out one time, that's it. When you take them off, they have to be replaced. And that's because, well, they're stretch bolts. They stretch out. They expand to a certain degree. And I feel like with plastic, it's the same thing. Once you set that screw in there, it stretches it, and the threads, the plastic conforms to the plastic itself to make a really strong seal. The second that you unscrew it and screw it back in, that seal will not be as strong as what it previously was. And that's why with some of these screws, you know, you tighten it down. It's nice when you try to undo it. I'm not going to turn this one back, but it'll sometimes snap, or it'll be like, whoa, it feels like I over-torqued it. No. You didn't over-torque it. It's just that the plastic has molded to the screw itself. It has made a very, very strong bond, seal, whatever you want to call it. And by undoing that or by unscrewing it, you will compromise that kind of seal. I might be wrong, but that is, well, from a mechanics perspective, as far as well, yeah, automotives are concerned, that kind of principle, I think, might even apply to these screws on these, well, on these plastic bodies. So something to think about. That's why I like to do all my upgrades right at the beginning, because especially with stuff like this, I don't want to have to go inside and unscrew everything just to be able to change out a bearing or seal. Like again, like this 850 bearing right here that I wasn't sure that I had. If I didn't have it, or if this one did not work, I would have just stopped and said, okay, I'm just gonna buy the part. I would have stopped this video and I would have just bought the part and waited for it to come in before continuing, rather than continuing making a video and then having a whole nother video tearing it all apart. I don't have time for that. That's also not what I'm about. I'm not about just making videos for the sake of making videos. My videos are part of series. This is the same reason why I've not shown off my other vehicles, because I need to have a clear purpose behind it. So, not just for the sake of making it. Or at least I want to try to, there we go, 3 of those guys, the 2.6x8. I want to try to keep that mantra going as best as I can. So, okay, so that is both the left and right hand side done here. These are the axles that stick out. So now we're going to get into the differential gear assembly. Ooh, my favorite part. So, Zweisatz anfertigen. Make 2. Well, that's a great translation. It says here, I think that's mai. Nimai tsukurimasu. But I think in Japanese it means use 2 in this context. So, in any case, that's always cute. And we're going to be needing this guy right here and this guy right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and grease up this face right here. And we're going to follow it as it says. We'll go ahead and use this guy right here. And grease this side too. Grease both sides. There we go. So that's that. And same thing here. We're going to just lube liberally. That's one thing I don't like about. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I had a moment there. You guys all saw what I did wrong. I won't edit it out. Oh boy, I almost really effed up there. So, there's 2 of these planetary gears, not 1. So, with that said, at least they're both, well, both washers are lubed up. Boy, oh boy. That was, yeah, that was almost really, really stupid. So let's go ahead and plop this guy in here. And I'm going to apply a bit more grease. Pretty sure what I added in there should be okay, but for differentials, I tend to like to apply a bit more liberally. There we go, that's better. Okay, cool. That feels good. And here too, actually, let's go ahead and flip this guy around. And for this guy right here, and there's actually even, I think this is like kind of a grease hole, a lube hole. Ooh. just go ahead and lube this up right here. Grease it up. That should be enough. As I drop it in at an angle, there we go. Okay. And feels smooth. This is how it goes together. Okay. It's always good to double check your work. So, okay. Now comes the pain in the butt part. Well, not the pain in the butt part, but the messier part, I suppose. So, I'm going to go ahead and lube the bejesus out of this guy here. And drop it in. There we go. 1, 2. I hope the camera has been focusing. I just kind of glimpsed out of the side of my eye that the focus has been kind of weird. I'm wondering if it would be better just set it to an automatic focus. Manual focus. But the lighting here also does not help. Alrighty, so that's lubed up. Now what we need to do here is lube up the faces. Just apply liberally here. Again, you can never go... I don't think, at least, with these, you can never have too much grease. In my opinion. Ah, shit. Get back here. Oh, pansy. Oh, don't know if I can say that anymore. Gotta watch out what I say nowadays. Everything is offensive to everybody. Or so it seems, unfortunately. Rather than being offended. I don't know. I feel like your energy is used better elsewhere. But that's just me. I'm not even going to get into that. Not even going to get into that. Oh, here we go also. So make sure that where these guys sit here, it's always good to add a little dollop of grease. And as you can see, she's nice and lubed up. And go ahead and drop her in. Just like that. And so make sure that that's all good. And we're going to go top down like here. And I don't think... Yeah, it's not keyed, so it doesn't matter which way you put it in. There we go. There's your diff. And now, these are actually some pretty beefy screws for once. Well, not really for once. I just remember the screws that I used for the diff in that Mercedes-Benz build, and those were tiny. It looked like they belonged on like glasses or something. Not a car. Okay, come on. Get in there. Get in there. Get. There we go. Let me use this guy here. Fortunately, this guy's also not magnetized. But this is the perfect screw for this. Or the size is correct. Tip size, whatever you want to call it. Go around, tighten these real quick. Okay, she's tight there. Shoot, actually this one may be a little bit too big. And that's what she said. Okay, that's a joke. That can, like, go into a grave for the next 1,000 years. Alrighty, there we go. There's the diff all put together. She spins good. And locks up nicely. So, that is part 9 done. Get a little swig of loot beer here. I mean root beer. So, let's take a look. It's all good to go. So yeah, I'm gonna go to part 10 now. These are the 3x12. So these are the slightly longer screws and indicative also of their color, and also their pattern on top is a little bit different. You can use this. You can use flathead screws. This is the 3x12. This one you can only use Phillips. This is the 3x10. And that's going to be to put the 2K halves together. So, make sure that I install this the correct way. So, this housing here faces the right side. And slides in nicely. There you go. And yeah, it's a good thing I did grease up those top pieces there. And before I actually get completely carried away here, this is where this shaft is going to slide into, and I'm just going to go ahead and actually give that a nice dollop of grease. And then make sure here also on the face side, I'm just going to give it just a little extra grease here for safety. And with this gear here also, I'm going to give it a little bit of grease just right smack dab in the center. Not much, that's a lie. Just a nice decent amount. The other gears the other gears are already, well, I put grease on them already, but this is just for added safety, so make sure everything is nice and lubed up. And we're just going to go ahead and, well, put it together. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I got all that, got all this here. MA3, MB5. Yeah, looks good. Really hope I'm not forgetting anything. So we're just going to go ahead and put these two together. And it should clip together like that. Ah, you can hear that too. Some of that AMSR whatever crap. I'm not into that, so at all. Not into that at all. It just gives me goosebumps and ugh, no thanks. Alrighty, cool. So from this side right here, go ahead and screw her down, and the rear end diff is going to be done. Really happy about this, actually. Making some good progress today. I'll try using this guy, actually. Oh yeah, see, this one's actually a better fit. Certain screws this one works great with, but the tip is a little bit too fine. So if it was just a little bit shallower, it would grip a little bit better. So if you're not careful, it'll jump really easily. Okay, and go ahead and right here. Okay. Oh, there we go. Nice and tight. Yeah, not the easiest screwdriver to use. Again, the size is a little bit off. That should be okay. Yes. There we go. I'll take this guy here and give it one extra little... Oh yeah, never mind. We're good. We're good. Make sure this guy here is good too. See, this guy's still a little bit on the loose side. Is that just the housing flexing? Or is that screw still loose? Who knows? That guy's tight for sure, so... Oh, yeah, so... See, this guy's still a little bit on the loose side, that's why. There we go. Oh yeah, nice and tight. Make sure everything's working here. Ooh, sounds nice. In and out play almost non-existent. That's really awesome, actually. Almost no in and out play. I like seeing that. That's really excellent. So, let's take a look what's on the next page here. Now that the rear end is all put together, yeah, you know what? We're already at 45 minutes, but let's just go ahead and finish this up. I am going to be building this time with the stock motor. Just for the sake of getting it done. The RS540 SH low, actually. It's marked low, so be interested in seeing how this one runs. Take off the little piece right there. Our two grub screws are here, and I guess you could call this a, they call it a motor plate, but I feel more like a bushing, I guess you could call it. Washer, something like that. And these also, once you push it on, they have these little tabs here. I mean, you guys all know that, so it makes a nice tight fit. Come on! Oh God, oh, really tight. There we go. And here comes another "that's what she said" joke. Anyways, got my nice hex wrench here to add to the collection of the other 500 hex wrenches that I have. Oh wow, it's double stable too. That's interesting. Anyways, this is the Tamiya grease that I'm not using today. Probably not bad grease, but got the good stuff here, so should just use it. So, with that said, we have there's our gear, and it's a 17 tooth actually. And I'm actually kind of interested in... Okay, so it says 15 millimeter height gap. So we'll go ahead and slide this guy down in here. And this guy in there. And they say about 15 mils, so... which is probably going to be... That's also including the faceplate, so... This plate right here. Not from the body itself, but from this plate. Obviously. Obviously. So, I'll check this out real quick. Oh, I'm a little tight. Oh, actually, nah, that's perfect. Exactly 15. Oh yeah, look at that. No, it's like 14.9. It's got a little bit of a gap there. Maybe I'll pop it up a little bit. Let's take a look. I don't have my other screwdriver. Bummer. Oh well, whatever. Just gonna give this a little bump there. Yeah, see, she's a little bit. It's a little bit low. I'm gonna. There we go. That should be exactly 15 now. Yep, there we go. Exactly 15. This is also one of those ones where I never know how much I'm supposed to torque these down. There you go. That feels about right. Arbitrary amount. Oh well, is what it is. And we're gonna go ahead and also, because I know this face on here on the inside is grease, I'm just gonna grease this guy here also just a little bit, tooth by tooth. Might as well. Once I put this together, I don't really want to have to take it apart. Well, except in this case, I'll probably end up upgrading this motor. But for the time being, this should be fine. It's not a race car. I don't know how slow this motor is, though, so we'll find out when it all gets put together. And we are doing, so there's two sets, obviously. One's for a larger set of teeth, I do believe. So this is a smaller set, so this is a 17T. So we're going to go, it's, what was it, 1 and 6 rather than 2 and 7. 1 and 6, slide her in. Oh, perfect fit. And then our, oh, you have to do this with the cover plate too. That's mildly annoying. Oh well, that's fine. Alright. This part actually ain't too hard, so. This is also keyed. And I don't think it matters, does it matter? Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It's keyed in a way that you cannot screw it up. Yeah, this not necessarily the best design idea, but I suppose it gets the job done, right? And I'm off, of course. Now the fun begins. This is exactly why I don't like these. Ah, you little freaking pansy. Alrighty. Let's take a look here. So, this guy's going to be centered right there. Well, you can't even see that. Ah, that sucks. Oh, there we go. I think I got it. Nope, didn't get it. Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay, cool. I was kind of worried that this might turn into 10 minutes of me just trying to get these stupid bolts to catch. Oh yeah, there we go. She's a turner. We good to go. Tighten this down nicely here. Don't want to go too crazy either. Cool. Another 16th of a turn. There we have it. Alrighty, rear end is assembled. Record time of 53 minutes. That actually worked pretty well. So, with that said, rear end all put together. Pretty exciting. Looking forward to running this one when it's all done and finished. So again, I have a patch in front of my apartment complex. Perfect. So, in any case, for the time being, I'm going to bid thee all farewell. Hopefully you all have a wonderful day. It's not snowing here anymore, so maybe I'll go outside. We'll see. But it's pretty windy. But yeah, look forward to continuing this build. Again, this is, if nobody watches this, cool. If a lot of people watch this, cool. If you learned something, cool. If you have the same car, cool. If you don't like this video, cool. If you hate me, cool. Don't care. If you think I'm boring, fine. That's not why I'm doing this, so it's purely for myself, archival purposes. So, with that said, rock on, everyone.